What's up, boy?
Danny, what's going on, man?
Good.
What's up, Bay Valley Suns fans? We are here with our very own center back, Danny Turgeon. I'm Sina, and today we're going to be interviewing Danny, asking him about his playing experience, what he's learned along the way, and at the end, we're going to get some tips and drills from Danny that everybody could work on to level up their game.
For sure. Sounds good. Let's do it.
Danny, first question for you, man. When did you first start playing soccer?
So I first started playing when I was 3 years old. I played in Little Kickers in Half Moon Bay. My mom was kind of the one who was in charge of that. So yeah, 3 years old when I started playing.
Let me ask you, Danny, at 3 years old, what positions were you playing?
I started off honestly as a striker, and ever since then I've just worked my way back. I started as a striker, then became a winger because I always found myself on the outside of the field. Then became a center mid because I wasn't athletic, and then a fullback, and then a center back. And center back is honestly, never liked it, never loved it, still don't like it or love it, but I've found my own way of making it enjoyable, which is I like to be on the ball, and I like to treat center back as another center mid in the game, and I really enjoy the progressive part of the game, which is building out of the back. And I like stopping players from scoring too. So.
Perfect. Well, you answered my question. I was going to ask you why you started playing center back, and it sounds like you've played many positions.
If you're young, honestly, sometimes you just have to figure out where you're going to be successful at. And you know, if I was stubborn and wanted to stay center mid, I probably would have never made it to the pro ranks. But because I was open to the idea of playing center back, and I found ways to enjoy it, and I found my own identity within that position, I ended up becoming successful off of it. So, you know, sometimes you just got to stick through it and find your own identity based off of the position you play.
Wonderful. Now, Danny, as a center back, or when you decided to play center back, who were your favorite teams and positions at the time that kind of maybe influenced your decision to go that route?
You know, honestly, the biggest one was, he was at Everton at the time, but everybody knows him now at City, was John Stones. John Stones was really the first one who started this whole playing center back like a center mid. He was one of the big ball playing center backs that stuck out to me when I first started playing, and he was kind of the guy that I looked to when it became playing that center back position, is what identity do I want to take on the field out of all of the center backs in the pro ranks, and he was definitely the one I looked up to.
John Stones, did you score the winner?
Yes.
Yes, the tying goal over the weekend.
Last
I know
minute.
he's still playing.
Yep.
That's amazing. All right, Danny, we've covered your position, the reason you got into your position, the player that influenced you to get there. Let's talk about where you've played. What's your playing background?
Yeah, so when I was 16, I left high school in Half Moon Bay. I ended up going to play in Europe. I played in England. I was in Manchester. Nice. I played there for 5 years, played at the semi-pro ranks mostly. Never made the jump to the pro game over there, but I did make that jump at age 21 to come back to the States, playing in NISA, which is the third tier of pro soccer in the US.
Right.
It was a brand new league at the time. I played in Philadelphia. I actually flew out there with no pen to paper yet. It was just an open tryout. Went to the open tryout, performed well, worked my way into the preseason. From preseason, worked my way into the starting 11. And that was kind of where I first started my pro experience playing at 21. Then COVID hit, so it took a break there. Ended up coming back to the Bay Area, trained with Oakland Roots, and ended up captaining the Project 510. From there, I got an opportunity to join another NISA team, which was Bay Cities, and then I ended up signing my second pro contract with Bay Cities. And then I've played in the NPSL now with San Ramon, and then now I'm here in the UPSL with Bay Valley Suns. So quite the journey.
Quite the journey.
Quite the journey.
I have to agree with that, man. You've been to Europe, you grew up here, you came back here. I'm sure you gained tons of experience in Europe that you brought back with you.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, as one of your teammates, I learned a lot from you. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
You're very well rounded, let me put it that way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, Danny, next thing I want you to do, so you're a center back, you've played a lot of positions, and I'm sure that benefits you, right? I think what a lot of our audience would appreciate is if you could give us 5 tips.
Okay.
5 tips for center backs, or
Yep.
actually any position,
Yep.
but it could be center back specific as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
What are 5 tips you have for people that you think are really going to elevate their game?
Oh, for sure. So I would say number one, which is important in all aspects of the game of football, is awareness, right? Especially as a center back, as soon as that transition comes in and players are running at you, first thing you should be doing before they get close to you is checking, one, do I have support? Or do they have support? Do I need to cut a passing lane off? Or two, do I have teammates that can help me manage the situation that I'm in? And then also, you got to check where the goal is, right? Because you don't want to give them an open lane. You don't want to give them an open passing lane. So it's just about being aware. As soon as that transition is coming in or players are running at you, can you just be aware of what's around you and know, do I have support on this side? That would be the first one. The second one, know your player you're going up against. So during the game, have you taken in information? Are they right-footed? Are they left-footed? What certain traits have they shown throughout the game? You know, do they like to beat you down the line? Do they like to beat you inside? And then you just work off of that information you've taken and how can you defend that player best. Third one I would give is just understanding, making defending very simple. I try to make it very simple. I'm not a big 6'3" guy. I just try to play smart. It doesn't matter if you win the ball high or if you win the ball there. I try to make the game very simple. If I keep my body in between the ball and the goal, the opponent can't score. So I tend to just keep that main focus of, as long as my body's in between the ball and the goal, they're not going to be able to score or get a shot on target. And that's what my job is at the end of the day. The fourth tip I would give, being able to use the sideline and the goal line as your friend. So those are 2 extra defenders in a game, which a lot of people don't understand that. You don't need to dive in and try to win the ball. You don't need to be the hero. Sometimes the best part about defending is you have 9 other guys, 10 other guys on the field to help you. All you have to do is delay the guy on the ball so that they can get back. So use the sidelines as your friend, guide them to a wide area, let your teammates come and support you. If they play backwards, it's just as good as winning the ball because, again, they're not putting the ball in the back of the net. Number 5, timing. Last one, timing of when you need to tackle. So once they are driving at you, watch for any big touches. That's a trigger to go press. If they turn their back to you, that is a trigger to go press. And being able to be close enough where if they take a touch, you can get your body in the way, but not too close where they can get past you and then they can get the upper hand and go to goal and score. So that would be my five tips.
That's 5 excellent tips for any player out there,
Yep.
specifically center backs. But I mean, for me, as an attacking player, we don't always have the ball, so I have to defend too. So I
Yep.
think these tips could benefit anybody. Awesome. Appreciate
you.
that. Okay,
Appreciate that big time.
next step.
Yep.
Let's get into the action, huh?
For
So,
sure.
do you have a specific drill you can show us that's gonna help, players that are looking to play at a professional level?
But this is like a super simple drill that you can do. All you're working on is like the body mechanics, right? Am I able to have the right body position? Am I able to move my body in the right way? And then when it's time to go win that ball or to stop them from scoring, are we making the correct movements to stop that? So yeah, I have a simple drill that could actually progress into defending, and then it could actually progress into a transition into the attack that we can work on.
Awesome, man. Let's make it happen.
So the main thing for me is it's a good way just to work on it without a ball. So we have a gate back there with the ball and a gate back there with the ball. What we're gonna work on, everything is 5 yards apart. It's 5 yards cone to cone, 5 yards diagonal cone to cone. It kind of looks like a Y drill. All you're gonna work on is getting in your defensive stance, and we're gonna imagine that there's a player driving at us at the ball. So one, we have to be aware of where that cone is behind us. So the awareness is checking your shoulders to see where the cone is. So all we're gonna do is get into a defensive position. We're gonna move backwards, and then as soon as we hit the cone, we're gonna drive, get the ball, protect it, bring it back, and then we'll come back nice and easy again. While you walk back, just to build good habits, you can scan, right? Always looking around you, and then now you can execute the same thing from the other side. So in here, you're defending, not committing, boom, in here, win the ball, bring it back, and then you walk and you scan again. So that's a very simple drill that you can do at home. You've got everything in there. You've got your hips. Are you turned? Are you able to scan, see the ball, see the field? As soon as you get to the cone, is that your trigger to step in front of them, win the ball. From there, you can progress it into going and attacking with connecting a pass to a gate. And that's what I would do to just help work on your defending.
That's a great drill.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try that myself. What do you call that? Is there a name for it?
I don't have a name for it. No name.
No need.
No name, no need.
But
just keep it simple. Training doesn't have to be super crazy. You just have to make sure whenever you do go out train, you have to ask yourself the question, is it realistic? Can I take what I'm learning here into a game, and does it transition? Like, does it translate? It's got to translate. Practice to game, it's got to go hand in hand.
that's right. Danny said it here first, so we don't just talk, we
Yep.
put it into action.
Got to put it in.
And we train like we play,
Exactly.
right? That's
You gotta-
what folks do at the professional level,
Yeah.
right? You know, every training matters. Every training is important.
It's got to be realistic so that when you're in the game, you're seeing those moments make sense. And when they make sense, it actually motivates you more to go back out there and work on it because you're seeing the results at the end of the day. So,
Beautiful. Danny, I forgot to ask you.
yeah.
So you played professionally,
Uh-huh.
and you told me that you started playing soccer at 3 years old. How old were you when you decided, hey, I'm going to go professional and I'm going to do what it takes to get there? I think that's another thing that folks are going to be wondering for young and looking
I
to go
grew up
professional.
being multi-sport, so I played soccer, baseball, and basketball growing up. But pretty quickly, I cut baseball and basketball out. Baseball, just too much standing. I think I had ADD as a kid, so I just way too much standing. Basketball, I had a coach that was like teaching tactics when I was 7 years old, and I was just like, I'm not ready for this. So then soccer was kind of my creative outlet. It was kind of perfect for everything. I wasn't ready to do tactics in basketball, and I wasn't ready to just stand around in the outfield. So I was able to be creative, which soccer is a very creative game. You've got
It
to
is.
think on the fly, and you're also running around. So it was kind of a perfect match. That probably started, I think I was probably about 9 years old when I made that transition from 3 sports to just soccer. And it was just full-time soccer all the time.
We gotta go train, right? We got training
Yes,
coming
sir.
up.
Yes,
so we
sir.
gotta wrap this up. This has been a great interview. I appreciate your time.
Yep.
You're, in my eyes, you're our best center back.
Thank you. I appreciate
and,
that.
I don't like playing against you. I like playing with you. So let's leave our audience with
Yes, sir.
maybe some final tips. Anything
Yeah.
you want to leave people with?
Yeah.
To go home after this interview.
Yeah, no, I just thank you guys for tuning in and listening to everything. I really hope my advice helps you guys. If you have any other advice or questions, feel free to just make sure you ask a question in the comments or reach out to us personally, and we'll get back to you. Other than that, if you guys want to contact me personally, I have my own soccer coaching business called Attention to Detail, where again, I focus on paying attention to the tiniest of details to give you the biggest results. So you can follow me on Instagram at atd.soccer. I also have a YouTube atd.soccer as well. So if you guys want to tune in and follow me there and just follow along the journey and ask for any other future questions or tips or advice, feel free to reach out. I'm always there to help. So yeah, other than that, then this was fun. This was fun and enjoyable.
Appreciate it, Danny.
Appreciate it big time. Thank you.
You're the man. All right.
Thank you.
Well, Bay Valley fans, it's been a good interview here today with Danny. I do want to say ATD is a wonderful academy that Danny runs. I follow their page. They have awesome content. Additionally, you guys can go on the Bay Valley Suns website. We've got a lot of games coming up here for the rest of the season. We are doing pretty well, so we're hoping to keep that going. And also, we do offer here in the Tri-Valley, we do offer sessions as well for groups and individuals. Go on the website or message us on Instagram, and we will get back to you. We look forward to working with all of you, and have a great one, everybody. This has been awesome.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Peace out.
Cheers. Go Suns.